2 or 3 weeks ago, I started having this experience where I'd be on my way to the store and I knew that I was forgetting something. And so I'd make a list and I know there's something missing on this list, but I can't remember what it is. So I started probing my mind. Is it something I need for the shrine? Is it something I need for the car? Is it something I need for my office? Is it something I need to send? What is it that I'm missing? I need to get something. And no matter what, I couldn't remember. And I will come back. It will be a comical scene, really, because I'm putting everything away, but it's so dissatisfying because in the back of my mind, I know I forgot something again. And just a couple of days ago, it finally dawned on me. I need razors. I need razors. I'm down to my second to the last razor. So I was so happy. I was so relieved. I immediately ran off to the store. I got a pack of razors. I was all happy. I was cheerful and talking to the cashier and you know what I mean and joking with the people coming in and out of the store. I was so relieved because I finally remembered what it was. And I'm telling you this story because it reminds me of what James Baldwin said about African American identity. He said that to be African American is to be African without memory and American without privilege. And to be African without memory means that we as a collective, as a community, we know that we're trying to accomplish something. Like me trying to remember these razors, I know I need something. We know we need something. We know we're looking for something. If we have this thing, we can fulfill our mission. We can accomplish our purpose if we could just remember what that thing is. And then to add to our frustration and our angst, we have these degrees, we have this money, we have these titles and these positions, we have all these accomplishments. But we know in spite of all of the things that we've attained, there's still something missing from the link. And then on top of that, there are these other parts of the equation of our identity that we also have access to that don't really seem pertinent, but they're there and they're inescapable. There's stuff like the things that we know about what you should do if somebody leaves your house and you don't want them to come back, and you can get salt and you can sprinkle some salt on an open fire and say the person's name. We just know that. We don't know why we know that though. We don't know how we know that. We know that you should never touch somebody with a broom. We know that if our right eye twitches, it means something. If our left eye twitches, it means something else. We know that, but we don't quite remember the context for doing that. We know that we pour libation. When you drink alcohol, we know that you pour some out for the dearly departed, but we don't quite remember why, right? We just have this random, scattered set of superstitions that everybody from Texas to Connecticut to Arkansas to California, we all happen to know these things, but we don't quite know why. We can't remember the origin of it. We can't remember the original purpose for it. But all the while, we know that we're trying to put something together and we can't seem to figure out what it is. Well, this is the purpose of my course, Reclaiming Our Roots. It's about restoring African memory. It's about the ways in which Yoruba spirituality creates these contexts and these structures for African Americans to make sense of the madness that is African and European and American all at once. You see, we don't have the privilege, to speak to James Baldwin's statement, we don't have the privilege of institutions that consistently and reliably reinforce our true identity. So when you think about white privilege is born out of white institutions. We have the institution of the school and the university, the church and the library and the government and the courthouse. All of these different institutions reinforce white people's privilege to express themselves and explore their reality and to do whatever they need to do to be fulfilled. That's what the privilege is about. It's about institutions. But if you can think of a single institution that is dedicated to restoring and organizing and refining African identity in America, I want you to tell me about that institution in the comment section because I don't know of one. All of the institutions that exist that are supposedly in our favor do so to orientate us towards satisfying white people's needs, comforting white people's concerns, being present in ways that make us agreeable with whatever the white mainstream agenda is. But all of those things work against our need to just make sense of who we are and put all of ourselves together into one cohesive understanding of our identity. It creates systems where we understand that these are all the variables that make us who we are. And this is why we have these different variables. This is why we catch the Holy Ghost and why it matters. This is why we have this rhythmic sensibility. And this is why it matters. This is how we have inherited this understanding of what you do with salt and what you do with hats and what you do with these dreams and what you do with those dreams. Those things all are part of our system. But we need to organize those things and recognize those things so that we can use them for our own benefit, just to heal ourselves, just to help us to fulfill our mission and the mission of our lineage in this space and time. And so the purpose of my course is beyond information. It's beyond, data. It's about helping you to restore the African mind, which is why the course culminates in step-by-step introduction to the 5 phases of restoring the African mind. As a result of this course, I intend to help you bring all of the different divergent aspects of your identity and your awareness together into a cohesive way of expression, a practical way for you to exist on a day-to-day basis in ways that are consistent with your lineage, consistent with your culture, consistent with your personal identity, consistent with the broader needs of the African American community. So I want to invite you to join us in reclaiming our roots, Yoruba spirituality for African Americans. This course is for anybody who wants to bring about positive change through positive influence. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com. Get enrolled in the course and let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. We start in just a couple of days, so don't delay. Join us today. I look forward to working with you.